Hi there, welcome to Microsoft Intune Training Series. This is a part 5. Just in case if you missed out the previous sessions, please do check out the description of this video where we talked about the part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and this is a part 5, and also upcoming series because this is going to be end up with 7 total series. So this is a 7 parts of Intune training series, and we are running with the part 5, and we will be working more about Apple enrollment within this training series or within this video, and also we will be working with the iOS and iPad compliance policies and configuration profiles and iPhone enrollment step by step, and also the updating the iOS and iPad devices. So we will be working on these concepts within this video, and let's begin.
Similarly, like we have Android devices, we also can enroll the Apple devices from here, and that can be managed. But there are, a few differences. That's where we are not able to do, all the corporate devices specific enrollment options. Okay, why you'll come to know in a minute. But you also have here bring your own device and also corporate device enrollment. Okay, if you just Google or if you just go to the Microsoft support document for the Apple supported devices, this number might change or they may come up with the new version. This always keep on updated. So let's go in a why this drawing spot is not, yeah. So now you also have here, as just talked, you also have here bring your own device and corporate, which is a company owned device. So for company owned, there are four different types. So at this point of time, you can easily remember that there are two types. One is a bring your own device, other one is a corporate owned. It's very hard to remember for you on first attempt, but you can try to remember ADE, which is mostly we use it, called Apple Automated Device Enrollment. So AAD or ADE, this is more specific for the enrollment, and other configurations are explained in a different way. One for this is dedicatedly for the schools and universities and colleges. So you know that I spoke earlier also in US and Europe, mostly 90% of the schools are managed with Intune. Okay, with the application deployment, teacher settings or separate will be there. Different things are there within the Apple manager, so that will be facilitated for them. So that's where you can use the school manager as a program. So if you ask one more time, what is these four, my friends? These four are different portals, my friend. Okay, which are not respected to your Intune portal. They have a different option they have given to use based on a condition that you're coming from to integrate with Intune. For example, you're coming from a school or university or college, you should go and use a portal called School Manager Portal. Okay, so such kind of configuration options they have given. So let's actually erase this and move further to understand more. I know I didn't talk about the last two yet. I'm going to talk on it. So if you try to if you try to remember this way, like a configurator, setup, assistant, enrollment, configurator, direct enrollment, it's hard to remember, so I made it very simple. So Apple enrollment can be done in a user enrollment and company owned enrollment. So user enrollment, which is nothing but bring your own device. Other one is a company owned. So as I said earlier, the pink color, which is ADE, you should be remembering, and you would be if you go to production, maybe on Apple devices, if you want to work, you might be working on a automated device enrollment options. And there's a school manager and also Apple configurator. And within the Apple configurator, two types of options you have: direct enrollment and setup assistant enrollment, meaning during the setup you have a few other options that can be clicked on next. So if you ever reset or if you got a new device with the iOS, it start asking who's going to use all that. Normal out of box experience fully can be automated. To automate that out of box experience, they have a different portals. Within those portals we have to configure. Okay, so I said there's a portal for out-of-box experience can be customized. But what is there that in our Intune portal, we have to create with respect to the some kind of tokens kind of information, and then we also have to tie it and we have to sync up, do some kind of configuration with the Apple. In this case, if you look at automated device enrollment, for that there is a portal called Apple Business Manager portal. So in that portal we also have to do some integration. So if you ask, can I practice maybe these all of these things in any lab? No, it's not possible, because you need to have the dedicated portal which is only given to the companies. And I try to get it with the GST, all of that stuff, but it's very hard to get that, because we have to really order the number of devices, then only they would be able to give it to you, the portal. Okay, now this is a pre-requirement. So for any enrollment, as you know, in the uh, if you look at Android one, we have actually integrated one Google account, right? Similarly here, there is a certificate to be created, and that has to be given for the enrollment purpose, which we are going to do it in a minute. Okay, so if I want to just go in a quick way for bring your own device, how can you do it? So you can do it with the company portal application. You can apply even protection policies, application level protection policies also, where you can do the some kind of complex pin setup for your applications, copy paste restrictions, all of that stuff, which can be done on Android devices. Same things you can do it. So if you ask, any user experience different? No. So on a Android device, the way you install, just simply you go to Google Play Store and install the search for the company portal application and install and sign in. Same thing here, but instead of that specific Play Store, here App Store will be used. Google, Android uh, Play Store was used in a for Android devices, but in this case it is the Apple's App Store application. Okay, so that will be used and you can do the enrollment. Coming back to the school manager, this is a URL that we are talking about. So you need to just go to this school.apple.com and then run the configuration. You can also do the configuration with a deploy.apple.com for ADE specific, and some of them are depreciated. For example, device enrollment program, earlier this has been taken out in the last year, and it is diverted to ADE. That's why I said ADE is the one only you will be using. Okay, so you can have different tokens can be created in ADE enrollment options, very similar to we have a code, right? Similarly here also, tokens get created, and with that you can enroll based on the tokens. And so technically, corporate devices for everything, the key is here you have the business manager account that's in a portal. So what you will be doing is you would be ordering from a different portal all the number of devices that also have the access to the Apple Business Manager. So your company or your reseller will provide the um, devices to you, right? They're going to ship it. So during that time, all the serial numbers will be already available into the Apple Business Manager, and from there you can do the integration here uh, with the Intune, this Business Manager, and then you can create here tokens, and that token can be used for 1,000 devices, example as I said earlier. So simply you can enroll here. So on this device also there is a certificate, there is a profile gets created that consists of your certificate communication. So that certificate is trusted by your Apple Business Manager and your Intune. So when I say Intune, actually in the backend as your AD will be trusted. So there some kind of integrations to be done between these two. Then only the devices can work properly. Clear? So that's the high level side. Same thing goes for uh, other configurations. Okay. So let's go to the in a quick way, easiest way for configuration with respect to iOS. Just wanted to say you here by platform, when we look at iOS is for your mobile phones. That is an operating system called iOS. If you're quite new, iOS is for your phone operating system. For your iPads, there's a different operating system called iPadOS. Okay, if you use, I think, iPad Mini, that's again iOS platform. Okay, not the iPad operating system. And Mac also different operating system. So like in our Windows, it's just a Windows, but here it's a different operating systems. Why I'm talking is because it also differs the sometimes the settings, or if you want to measure anything, it might differ. So you need to know that. So let's say if I just go to iOS, iPad, or Mac, one are the same. The enrollment options. If I just click on Mac enrollment, I'm getting the same thing. And if I go to devices, iOS or iPad, I'm getting the same, right? The options are same. So these are the things which you can use it. For example, in this case, we just talked about the ADE and the configurator specific. You can actually do from here, but these are grayed out. The reason being, we didn't configure here any certificate. Let's say I want to configure Apple MDM push certificate. Okay, how do I do? I have to actually configure few things within this. I'll just talk about high level steps. Later point, I have to create an account, all of that stuff, which I'm going to do it live. Okay. The first thing is in the high level, it needs an account. Okay. This this is something called Apple MDM push certificate. So what is a push certificate is? It's actually a certificate which was trusted by your Apple as a company, and also your identity service provider, in this case Azure AD. So these both the guys should have a trust. So it's not the domain level trust. So we always talk with the certificates level of trust to manage the device, because this hardware is trusted by or provided by Apple. The configuration we are trying to control from Intune, right? So you need to have some kind of integration between this. That's where you need to have a certificate. So the certificate is needed is push certificate. How do you get it is you can simply accept the terms and conditions. Then it is actually asking you to download the CSR certificate sign in request. So meaning what happens is signed, like you signed it on some paper, right? Similarly, Azure AD will sign and it gives some a file called CSR. So this is a unique file generated on your tenant. Okay, I repeat. So there is a you have Azure AD as an identity provider, right? So that will have a uniqueness or unique thing, right? So and based on that, a CSR file gets created, my friend. Okay, once a CSR file is created, okay, what you will be doing is this CSR file you would be uploading to your Apple site. Okay, with the help of, so there needs to be some kind of a person or a user who's responsible, right? So from an Apple side, they always talk with a Apple um, ID. We call it as Apple ID. You see here, this is Apple ID. So with the Apple ID, you would log into with your Apple ID or with your company's Apple ID. The right word would be your company's Apple ID. You would be logging in and you would be uploading this CSR file to Apple server. Then what we do is they will read the CSR and they generate a, a certificate file, a profile file, okay, PFM file. So that file we need to again upload to our server. What is our server? This is Azure AD server, right? So here we need to upload it. Once we upload it, what would happen? So during the upload, you would be entering here the Apple ID that you used to generate with a certificate file. Then the trust is coming up here. So if you look at, I would like to draw here with a different color, or like to, let's say, pink color. So what we have done, we are actually talking with the certificates between these and these different providers on a single device, right? So because this device owns by Apple and the configuration is getting configured from Azure AD. So for that, we need to have a certificate. So what we have done, first step, hey, I wanted to configure here some configuration. Can you please help me out? Then these guys, what they are saying, hey, you first generate a CSR and upload to me, okay, with an Apple ID, and show the same Apple ID here in your configuration portal, and then you can actually use the things, right? So that's how this entire steps are there, and these steps are quite common for your iOS or Mac or iPad OSs. Simple. Okay, let's actually go ahead and try to configure. But for this, I need to have, this is where the certificate will be, final certificate will be uploaded. This final certificate will be given by Apple as a company, and this certificate, again, there is some limitations I'm going to talk on, right? But before that, my friends, honestly, I always end up with some kind of Apple IDs. Give me a second. If I have 2-3 minutes. I barely remember passwords. I'm trying to use my existing one in case if that works, we'll proceed. Otherwise, okay, good. It said something. Anybody doesn't know what is Apple ID? When I had my first device, Apple device, I used to get confused. That's why I'm asking. If you have Apple devices, you know it. Use for your purchases. Very similar to Google account. Same thing, but they will associate. They will talk. They'll talk everything with your purchase, everything with the Apple ID. You can get it for free. There's no cost for this. You can go and create your own Apple ID any point of time. I'm downloading my CSR certificate request file. This is how the certificates works. You first have to download. So it is downloaded with the 3. If you see here, number 3. I might have already other one. So I'll just go to the create your MDM push certificate. Since I have already logged in, it will go to this website. So you just have to log in with your Apple ID. So it's not that your company's Apple ID, and then it will come to this screen. Okay, you just have to accept and upload the file which you downloaded from here. The first step is accepting. Second step is downloading. Third step is pointing to Apple website. This is the website, right? So this is where you need to upload your certificate that was downloaded in a step 2. So I'm uploading here under downloads. This is the one, today's, and you can give any name, maybe example, whatever it is. And that's it. This is gonna create for you a certificate based on the signature that you have used it. So in this case, the certificate is valid for 1 year. Okay, yes, Mike, this Apple gives you for 1 year only the validity certificate. Post to that, you have to buy as a certificate from Apple. As a company, definitely you're going to buy it. So in our case, download. So a PEM file got created. So what we have done in the Apple website is we uploaded our CSR file that was generated based on your Azure AD tenant in Apple website. Here we uploaded. Then Apple, what they have done, they created a PEM file. Okay, and we just downloaded that. This is the PEM file. Okay, and then then I use here my uploaded ID. So my account, yeah, this is my Apple ID. So I'll use here Apple ID. This is the email ID. Now I'm uploading this file. So today downloaded is this the one. Okay, so just 128 exactly time. So I'm just gonna upload. Now the other enrollment options are enabled now. Clear? So I'll simply close this. Now if I just go here, the checkbox will be there with a green color. Okay, and the expiry for the certificate date also mentioned. So this is gonna valid for 365 days. Okay, now we are good to go for configuring personal device enrollment options. Okay, let's actually let me screen share, and then we can do the enrollment. Before that, again, as usual, what we'll do, we'll also do the complaints policies, configuration profiles, and also we can configure the patch management options. Right, let's do that. So first thing, company policies. As per your company, the complaints policies can be configured. This is for iOS devices. So here, iOS and iPad devices, same policies. That's why you'll have the same experience. The settings, all of that remain same. Great. Click on next. And these are very similar categories. You can configure. Device health, jailbroke should be block. Or minimum ways, maximum ways, you can again do it here. Defend an antivirus, system security, like a password things. So require password to unlock. You can give here 4 or 6 characters and the password that you wanted to configure. Okay, so I'm just giving here, I don't remember, let's give here, I've taken very basic things, I think so. Not configure minimum password length, we have configured. Click on next. Okay, now we have created the specific thing. Let's also test these some applications also deployment. Then it would be easy to show on the end user machine. Uh, Again, go to apps for iOS and iPad. You can link from iOS store, search. So this actually opens a search. Sometimes we click on here, like Outlook example, then it might not show because in between we might backspace something like that. In that case, it might not show. So search clearly, thoroughly, then you get it. It's not until unless you hit it properly here, you don't get it. So in our case, we're just selecting Outlook example. Okay, you don't have an option to select multiple things to onboard the applications here. So all the information is auto populated. So in my case, I'm enabling as a mandatory. Similarly, Teams also I'll do it on the device. Same thing, I'll just go here. So I have to search here properly. So now I searched it, it's not showing. Okay, so I have to wait. Now it will go and pull up that. So here I can say this is a featured app. One final application like PowerPoint maybe, or just for showing the available mode. Okay, now we have done the applications also. Let me go back to, I think if you want we can do the configuration settings also, but you know what are those configuration settings. You can again create the configuration profile settings. You can block the device specific settings, and device restrictions can be done. So mostly we use device restrictions in most of the cases. You can configure the settings like I want to block data while roaming, just a simple setting, or any other settings that you want to configure here. All are available. Let's do a quick thing. Okay. Okay, so this is the phone. So within this phone, I don't have any applications now. Okay, so I simply have to go to App Store and search for an application called Company Portal. So simply search for Company Portal. So if you have already installed, it's coming as a cloud, because with this my Apple account, I've already installed earlier. That's why it's showing. Otherwise, it will come as the get option will come up. So in my case, I'm just installing the Company Portal application. So it's going to ask me a normal password, which normally asks. So in my case, I've already given the password, seems to be. So it's just going. Now open button is there. So let's open. We have created account called Logan. Okay, let's use Logan account. Okay, let me type lab.com. Okay, entered the user ID Logan at leninmylab.com. And the password I'm going to enter. Yes, password also enter. Click and sign in. Because we have already April is there. MFA is already there, so that's why I'm just canceling that. So since it's the first time, it is asking for the accept the terms and conditions, accepting. Get notifications done, so that's fine. Hello. Now it's going to begin to do all these steps. Again, the first thing, so what cannot see by your company, what can see by your company, that information. Then when we click on a download, it is actually downloading in a profile. See, it just opens this browser automatically, and it will ask you to download one file. That's a certificate file. So you just have to allow that certificate file. The profile is downloaded. Okay, now all we have to do is we have to go to our settings and then install that certificate. Okay, so I'll just close. Then post installation, we have to come back here and continue the setup. So I'll press the home button to go home page, and you see here a profile is downloaded. Earlier this specific one is not there, right? So I'll just simply click on this, and you see here you are getting this profile information with the install button. Okay, if you want more information, what it is going to do, it says that these all are the certificates that are given by whom, and all of that information is there here. So let's say install. Now it's asking for my device passcode. I think simple passcode I put it for this test device, and install. The certificate gets installed. Then we'll get it here a proper status. You guys are able to understand, right? This all will be done by end user. So if it is a proper, then it comes like this. Okay, so you're going to install trust. That's it. Now the profile is installed. So now we have everything is ready. I'll just go to the company portal, setup, and we'll say continue. Now the second step is done. Okay, third step is choosing the category. So I would definitely choose as a bring your own device category and say continue. So it's going to validate my um, all the application. So in this case, my friends, like you get like this pop-up. Actually, if you make it as mandatory also, you get it like this as a pop-up. This was not the case with Android. So I'll say install. That's for Teams. This is for Outlook to application. It's going to install in the backend for me. Now this is done. You can also see here the recently published applications, all of that. So if any devices are there, any apps are there, you can check out. Just say minimize. Now if you see here, this is getting these are applications are coming Teams and Outlook, and this is my web link which we published for Windows. When we are doing the Windows concept, we published same thing. So it's just getting installed. So the applications also coming up here. There's no lock icon, all of that. So you can log in with login. So just the normal Teams. Same event. Let's go to Outlook. We'll also have the Outlook configuration. So I'm going to use Logan's account, not the Rob's. Email notification turn on. Any alerts, all of that, it's going to come up. Okay, great. So this is the web link which we published in the past. Okay, so this concludes the user experience for bring your own devices. Let's go to the portal and have a look on it, what we have learned so far. And you can find out the inventory information from your hardware, what's the version, all of that stuff. Complaints and device configurations that we set it, and applications that we pushed. This is available for install mode. Okay, so in another few more minutes, we'll get this as a complaints, or if we do refresh also, we may get it. Okay, so it takes some time, it will come up. Clear? That concludes how to install the applications, even for the iOS devices. Okay, and other configurations. This is a very simple configuration. We can close it. For upgrades, when we have to do, what is a deadline, or what is that schedule. So let's say all devices has to be on a 14.6, then we will select this version. When Apple releases the new version, will be added here, or you can stay latest, and this can be on a next check-in or schedule time, or outside of the schedule time. It's up to you how you want to push. That's it. So this would take care of the configuration. That's it for the iOS specific. And other enrollment options, if I just go to enrollment options, you have your tokens. Basically, you just have to create a token, and then this is again a token downloads, and we will give it to the Apple Business Manager, and that Apple Business Manager specific account, all that configuration will be given if we enroll in a token concept. Configurator concept, same almost, but it consists of some kind of profiles. So a profile gets created, example, and then this will have a one-to-one, device to one user, and then the required configuration will come from a setup assistant or portal. So company portal will push everything for this users. So this is a token, basically a profile. So this profile will be used for the devices. Okay, you can add devices which are coming up from Apple Business Manager. Okay, this is anyway, you would come to know, you have to raise some cases, or you might have to work with Apple also. But in companies, they don't use the Apple. Most of the companies, so if you look at the Apple managed by JAMF, there's another MDM. So JAMF will be used for managing the Apple configurations. This is the top tool compared with the Intune. Okay, that's it.